WWE have done, and this should be a fun one. This is a special for Evolve. It is not like a PLE, of course, but it's the closest thing that Evolve gets to a PLE. So it's a pretty big one, this. We've got championships being defended. We've got the men's championship. We got the women's championship. They are both up for grabs tonight. So with that being said, let's just jump over to the full screen and just have a look at the match cards. So here is the WWE X account. They don't have, like, Evolve doesn't have its own space on the website. So unfortunately, we can't do the way we normally do it. We just have to go to the tweets, to the X. So new arrivals tonight. I don't know who these people are going to be. I haven't heard of any big names, although there is chatter about Thea Hale going to Evolve. So I think there is a chance that Thea Hale could be in that group, but it could be some new names, some new faces, but not anyone that I'm aware of, right? So I'm interested to find out who these new arrivals are going to be. Again, I'm not expecting them to be big names, but Thea Hale is definitely someone that could be in the mix. Then we've got the women's championship match. So Wendy Choo, the champion, defending against Nikita Lyons. Now, Nikita has shown great improvement. I think there is a great opportunity, possibility that she could get the championship here, Nikita. Wendy's not had it that long, though. So, I don't know, I'm a bit split on it. I think what we'll do is we'll go in the chat and see what you lot think. Who leaves as women's Evolve champion? Is it going to be Wendy or is it going to be Nikita? I think it could go either way. I think Nikita with this Evolve Championship could be quite interesting, but have we done enough with Wendy at this point? Maybe not. I might just be leaning that Wendy retains, but don't hate that match. And then the other match we've got is this one right here. This has had quite a build. I must admit, it's not a match that I personally care too much about because I think Aaron Rourke's okay. I think that he is entertaining enough. I would like for him to sort of turn up the gimmick a little bit louder. But by and large is okay. Max Abrams, I just don't really feel a connection to him, to be honest. I mean, he is someone that's been around for a while. He's leader of the MOG squads. It feels very similar to when Cam Hendricks was leading Team PC. It feels very similar to that. It feels a bit similar to when Jackson Drake was leading Vanity Project. He's just like a leader of an annoying group. And I feel like we've seen that quite a few times already in Evolve. So he's just not really standing out to me, Max Abrams. So as a result, I'm fine. I can't say I've got like a strong emotional connection to this match. I'm guessing Aaron Rourke retains, but maybe they're ready for him on NXT. Obviously, he made an appearance yesterday when he defended that championship against Tristan Angels. So maybe we do get a new champ. Maybe it goes on to Max Abrams. So yeah, Aaron Rourke against Max Abrams. Evolve Championship on the line. As we said, Women's Championship on the line. And I don't know if there's another match. Sometimes we have 3 matches, don't we, for Succession? So I've not seen a graphic for anything else. There's only graphics for those 2. So there could be another match, but at the moment, those are the only ones that are being previewed on the social media. So, and we've got these new arrivals as well. So that's what we've got tonight. And as we said, probably a 3rd match as well. And yeah, should be good. Succession, only the 3rd Succession that we have ever had. So looking forward to seeing what they've got for us. Shining Wizards, hello. People are talking about the football. Is there a men's championship match? There is. Harry, yes. Aaron Rourke in action, taking on Max Abrams. I am doing both. I have got 4 devices active. Yeah, I'd imagine people are... hello, Calvin. I'd imagine people are watching World Cup stuff at the moment. Obviously, Scotland not doing well, which, they are victims of their own downfall. I saw that first goal. Absolutely atrocious goal to concede. If you're taking on Brazil, you can't afford to give them anything. And that's a horrible first goal that Scotland conceded. Somehow, Haiti have managed to score a couple of goals against Morocco, which is making no sense whatsoever. I've got absolutely no idea what's happening there. But somehow Haiti are drawing with Morocco. Canada, our Canadian friends. I don't know if there's anyone in the chat joining us from Canada. I mean, you made it through, You've made it through. But, at the moment, not something I think that you guys were looking for. I think you was hoping to obviously go through in first place because you would have got an easier game. On the BBC website, just briefly talking about football, there is a link to how the next round is looking at the moment. BBC have done a pretty fun thing where they are just constantly updating what the knockout round looks like. If I can find it, I will try and show it you if I can find the link. Oh, here it is. As it stands. I think this is quite good. So this is the BBC website. So as it stands, this is what the games are going to look like in the next rounds. This is how things are standing at the moment. So at the moment, United States are going to be playing Bosnia in the next round. If everything just ends as it is now, and of course it probably won't, as people win and there's shocks and whatever, but as it stands right now, United States are playing Bosnia, and England would have Algeria. Scotland would be going through to play Mexico. Where's Canada? Canada would be playing South Korea. That's not bad. I mean, that could have been a lot worse. Morocco are playing Netherlands at the moment. Portugal against Ghana. Some of these matches are so good. France, Sweden, I'd imagine France should win that quite comfortably, but 2 decent-sized European teams. Sweden, not too bad. France, one of the favourites, obviously. Germany, Paraguay, I'd expect Germany. Canada, South Korea. Canada would have a chance. That's a banger match. That's a pretty fun match as well. Ghana gave England trouble. So that's pretty fun. That's interesting. Austria are very good at keeping teams out. And, they took on Argentina. I think they lost 2-0 to Argentina. So Spain, who can sometimes struggle to score, taking on a team that can keep teams out, that could be quite tricky for Spain. I'd expect Spain to do it, of course, but United States, Bosnia, Egypt against Cape Verde. Brazil, Japan. Oh, look at that. Brazil against Japan. That's got to be the best game in this round. What a game. Ivory Coast, Norway is pretty fun. Mexico, Scotland. England, Algeria. Argentina, Uruguay. I'd fancy Argentina there. Australia, Iran. Iran currently making it through. Switzerland, Belgium. And Colombia, Croatia. So that's how the knockouts are looking at the moment. It's pretty good. I really like this. And as each game sort of updates and each league table updates, this is, as it stands, this is kind of updating. So I tell you what, I'd be thrilled with that. I mean, no game's going to be easy, but God, of all the options, Algeria, I would be absolutely thrilled to play Algeria. So, yeah, take that. And the winner of that would play the winner of that. So it could be England, Scotland, or it could be England, Mexico, which is more likely. So the winner of that game plays the winner of that game. Where's America? Who would you lot play? In America, you are... So America would play Bosnia. And if you win that, you'd play either Egypt or Cape Verde. Can't be down on that, can you? If you're American, you can't be down on that. I mean, you're avoiding Spain and France and England and Argentina and Brazil. I mean, you could beat Bosnia, and I think it'd be an interesting game against Egypt. I think you could do Egypt. All of a sudden, then you're into the quarterfinals. So, very good. What about Canada? Where's Canada? Canada, South Korea. If they get past them, got to play either Netherlands or Morocco. I think that would probably be the end of the road. They might get past South Korea, but I don't think they're getting past Netherlands or Morocco. So anyway, massively distracted there, but I saw that earlier and I thought it was very interesting. So, yeah, there we go. Second half, back underway. Big Time said, Daze, after listening to Heyman, I do sympathise with Triple H. It's a really difficult job trying to serve so many things and constantly figuring out how to get point A to point B and long term, etc. Shining Wizard said, Daze, I hope you do just as much coverage for the underwater basket weaving World Cup later this year. Well, I do plan actually on it doing watch-alongs for that. So we might go even harder for the underwater basket weaving championship. Harry said Austria could easily take that game to penalties. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Austria have shown themselves. They got Ralph Rangnick as their manager, who kind of was with Man United for a time. Very well organised, tricky team to break down. And just like how Ghana frustrated England, Austria could absolutely frustrate Spain. And as you say, take it to penalties, and then it's anyone's, isn't it? When it gets to penalties, the pressure, you can try and tuck it in the corner and it hits the post. I mean, it's such fine margins that, I mean, Spain would be favourites in a penalty shootout, of course. But we've seen big nations get eliminated that way. So I'd be down to see if Spain could pass the Austria test. Days, I picked Wendy to win. Okay. However, with Nikita being with Natty on NXT, it makes me wonder if we get a title change just to give Nikita a push. Bishop said, Days, I'm sorry, I just don't understand soccer. They play for like 90 minutes and the score can end up being 1-0. Yeah, because unlike with like American sports, like the score isn't like, the score is obviously the most important thing, but football isn't really set up for it to be like, 20 to 15, it's not like basketball where it can be like 100 to 85 or whatever. With football, when you score a goal, it's a big deal because, most games are like 1-0, 2-0, something along those lines, but it's a real battle. And that's why, when you're watching, if someone can break through, it's really exciting because, wow, this could lead to a goal. And, goals are obviously more important in football than a basket is in basketball. Because in basketball, they just go from end to end and score, 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 score. I'm sure people still cheer when there's a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer or whatever. But yeah, in football, like, you're willing your team on, you're trying to get them further up the pitch. If they're defending, just keep it out. So you've still got that same tension and everything. Like, you've still got that same involvement. It's just you're not just cheering endless goals. The goals ultimately really mean a lot when they're scored, which is why people lose their minds. Compared to if there's a basket scored, people don't really lose their minds because, there's so many of them. But with football, it's just free flowing and, you're having to defend. You could go like from being down the one end and then all of a sudden a few seconds later they're attacking your goalkeeper. You got to try and get back. So it's good. It's really good. It's obviously a sport the world loves. And I think the World Cup has been so successful actually in kind of opening a few eyes to, maybe some people that haven't really given it much thought before. My timeline's just full of like Americans just experiencing it for the first time. And I think falling in love with just the spectacle and the the fans, and you see the Scottish in Boston, and you see the Dutch fans partying away, and you see the Norwegians with their rowing. It's kind of fun actually to see my timeline just full of people just kind of having fun, enjoying the World Cup. I think it's been brilliant. I think it's been brilliant for America as well, because obviously America's reputation is questionable on the world stage, shall we say. Some people obviously love America, some people have got issues with America, but actually what's happened here is there's just been this tidal wave of just good vibes. Actually, I think it's something the world needed, just good vibes. I think it's been good for America because America is providing those good vibes. They are the host of the World Cup, along with Mexico and Canada to a lesser degree, of course. Most games are coming from America. But I feel like my social media has been flooded with good vibes, and America is the host of that, and it's good. It's good all around. Jose said, will Elijah Holyfield looks ready to go? He's looking good, isn't he? He's looking good. Fallout Frank said, I'm British. I don't watch football, but I know too much about it because you just can't escape it. It is true. I remember when I started secondary school, I actually had not really paid football much attention when I was young, so I was into wrestling. So I used to watch wrestling, and that was really what I loved. But when I got to secondary school, you go to secondary school, and in those first few weeks, and you're meeting loads of new people, one of the big questions everyone would ask would be like, what football team do you support? And I didn't have one. And so I learned very quickly that if I was going to survive secondary school, you better get with football. I don't know if it's similar in America with NFL or basketball or whatever, but over here, when I was growing up, I went to secondary school, and that was the big conversation. What football team? Who's your favourite player? What football team do you support? And if you didn't have one, I mean, you might struggle to have conversation with people because, there was a few people that I could speak to about wrestling, but there wasn't loads of wrestling fans at my secondary school, or if they were, they kept it quiet. That kind of what got me onto football was I learned very young that I needed to get with it. I've been supporting Man United in England for flipping decades now, and it's got its ups, it's got its downs, but I am really enjoying this World Cup. Bruce said, I don't understand why the King and Queen matches are going to be on ESPN same. Will that turn people off the next half? I don't get it either, to be honest. I don't get it either. For me, you would put Trick Williams, Ricky Saints, and you would put Tiffany against Jades. Those are the two matches I would put on the free bit, because then what you do is you go, if you've enjoyed that, turn over or subscribe to ESPN Plus. We've got the final of the Queen of the Ring. Someone's going to be crowned Queen. We've got the final of King of the Ring. Someone is going to be crowned the King. As well as that, we've got a triple threat for the WWE Championship. Who's going to be leaving as champion? And of course, a grudge match, a cage match. We have got Seth Rollins taking on Bron Breakker. You don't want to miss any of this action. I would imagine that, if I'm a casual fan and I'm hearing that message of, oh, okay, so they're going to crown the Queen, they're going to crown the King, there's going to be a championship match, there's going to be a cage match, that surely I'm tempted to, subscribe or, watch the rest of the show. But if you just put on ESPN or ESPN2, I'm not sure, the King of the Ring final and the Queen of the Ring final, what are you tempting people with? You're tempting them with the United States Championship being defended, Trick Williams against Ricky Saints. I mean, I don't know if a casual fan has heard of these people. Tiffany Stratton against Jade Cargill. Again, is that going to be something that's going to get people to want to subscribe? You've still got the WWE Championship. You've still got the cage match. But I agree. I found it a head scratcher as well. I found it a head scratcher. I don't really understand, but you know, listen, ESPN are going to do what they think is right for them to do, and perhaps they just want to get views as well. Perhaps part of it is, well, if we do the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring in that free hour, that's going to be a great way of getting people to tune in, and we'll get the views, and that'll be good for, you know, the network. You know, we'll take the views. So I don't know. They're gonna, because it's gonna be them that's gonna have a big influence. I actually don't know who gets the final say, because we've never done this before. We've never done it where like some of the pay-per-view matches or PLE matches are just free to watch on a TV channel as long as you're subscribed to it. We've never done this, so I don't really get who gets the final say. I think it'd be WWE that would get the final say on the run order. But there's no doubt in my mind ESPN have got a big influence about, no, we want that match and we want that match. You know, they're paying a lot of money. So I've got to think that ESPN have got a say and got an influence on the run order. But if WWE are like, no, we can't do that because actually that's going to connect to something later in the show, so we can't afford to do that, then, you know, this is where I'm sure there is back and forth, and I'd imagine it's in the contract. WWE would have final say on the run order of the show. But no doubt in my mind that there's ESPN influence. So, yeah, I don't quite understand either, but someone somewhere has done it for some reason. These things happen for some sort of reason. It's not just by chance. So, yeah. Days, people in the IWC think booking is so easy, but when they are going to do is make their favourites be champion. Forget the other stars. If you booked it, would you plan things out? Yes. I feel like we've spoken a lot about booking, like a lot, and when it comes to booking, you tend to work backwards. That's what I've always, you know, heard. That if you've got a feud, what you do is you figure out how long your feud's going to run for, and really you start at the end. So, for example, if you want to do Rock Roman at WrestleMania, you don't start with when's The Rock coming in. You start with who's winning at WrestleMania, and what do you want that match to look like. And do you want a stipulation, and what's it going to be, and all this kind of stuff. And then you go, right, what I want a last man standing Rock Roman match. And then you go back through the weeks. Obviously, you'll know how long you've got The Rock for and what weeks you don't have him. So you plan in, you know, how you're going to do that. But it's a lot easier going backwards than it is going the other way. So yeah, you book backwards. So you don't just go, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. You start at the end, you work your way backwards, and you know, you start putting in the things that so I'm doing a last man standing match. Why am I doing it? You know, go home show, we'll do a promo exchange. That makes a lot of sense. Week before that, I'm going to do a beatdown. And so you work your way backwards like that. So, and, you know, it might be a 6-week program, it might be a 4-week program, it might be a 2-month program, it might be a 3-month program. And, yeah. I feel like we've spoken a lot about booking and about the challenges of booking. I don't know if, like, some of this stuff has got to do with, like, Heyman's interview. I haven't actually seen Heyman's interview, but it sounds like he's just said everything we've been saying for flipping years and years and years, to be honest, about how booking is a challenge. So if that message has got out, good. Big Time said, Days, today became the hottest June day in British record, with a 35.7. The record was most recently observed on June 28th in 1976. Yeah, I mean, it's getting hotter. I saw a trend, actually. Sky News put a thing out that showed the highest temperature for each summer. And, you know, sometimes it's here, whatever. But the general trend is that So, I mean, it is undeniably getting hotter. There were hot summers, though. I mean, you have got, like, you know, go back to the 70s, there was really hot summers. But, yeah, the general trend is that it's going up and up and up. So, you know, that obviously is not a good thing for the future. I mean, it's going to really affect a lot of stuff if it keeps doing that, because, you know, you're going to struggle with crops and growing crops, and you're going to struggle with food, and there's going to be food shortage. It's not just about being hot. It's about what's it doing to animals and what's it doing to food supply and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the next generation is going to be left with. I think they're saying that temperature-wise, we're okay for like 50 odd years, but you know, there's going to come a point where it's going to seriously start affecting things like food and whatever. And I don't know, we might have to find some solutions to a few big major problems in the future. Brian said, Daze, I like Monday Night Raw, Evolution, and SmackDown. You're talking about soccer. I am from Boston. We've got the Bruins and the Celtics, and the Evolution you are in. Brian, shout out to you. Yeah, I can understand why you'd be supporting the Celtics. And the Bruins, they're teams in your area, aren't they? I don't know anything about the Bruins. I know the Celtics have been very, very successful in basketball, so I would imagine I would be in that boat with you as well. So if I lived in that part of the world. Days, Brazil have scored. It's now 3-0. Oh, blooming hell. This is a disaster for Scotland. This is a disaster. They needed to just make sure that it was like 1-0. You know, a loss was okay, but Scotland's problem is if they take a battering, it's really hurting their goal difference, and that could be a big, big factor. So that is the nightmare. That is the nightmare. I like to watch your watch-alongs. I'm just trying to stay off social media because of spoilers of SmackDown, said Bruce. Yep, I can understand that. I've also managed to keep away from spoilers. Jose said, you burn out the crowd if you do 4 bangers in a row. You need those filler matches to separate the main matches. I'm going to disagree a little, because I think when you've only got 5 matches, you can't really afford filler matches. I think that's kind of maybe the argument if you've got more matches, like say 10 matches, and you know, like then you might want to just put some in, like we used to do with WrestleMania, where you would do like a big match and then you'd maybe do like a women's 6-person tag just before the main event. I mean, if you actually go back and look at some of the old Manias and the way that those shows were structured, you know, the bathroom break match was a real thing. There was a match that was kind of the breather, as you say. So you're not wrong in saying that, you know, there was matches that were put in for that. But I think if you've got the current match card of 5 or 6 matches, we don't really book those sort of matches anymore. We don't really book those bathroom break matches, if you will. And I don't think a card this short can really accommodate a bathroom break match. For me, this should be pretty full on for like 2.5 hours. And I don't mind it, to be honest. I think the whole getting burnt out thing applies when you're hitting 3 hours plus. I think like when you've got those shows, I mean, if you think WrestleMania 35 went like 5 hours something, 5.5 hours. I think when you added in the pre-show, it was like 7.5 hours. So, you know, thankfully we're not doing those days anymore. Now we've got SummerSlam split across 2 days. We've got WrestleMania split across 2 days. We've kind of split the match card in half. I think it's a lot more palatable. I think it's easier to consume. But like, yeah, for me, it should be that on a 5 match card or a 6 match card, it's pretty much go, go, go. Days, the UK might get some thunderstorms. Yeah, we could do. I honestly haven't really paid much attention. I just know that this week it's hot. I know that they said Wednesday, Thursday was going to be the peak. So, yeah, there could be some thunderstorms. Normally when there's like really intense weather like that, you can quite easily slip into thunderstorms. Jose said Trick opens the pay-per-view, then maybe cage match, then maybe a Danhausen segment, followed by a filler Tiffany, end with main event, send the crowd home happy with a Cody win, says Jose. Bishop said, I think WrestleMania 35 is still going. You're probably right. You're probably right. Drew's going to Claymore someone. I bet he's fuming, says Bruce. The UK, we read that. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Brazilian here. Miles, shout out to you. Congrats. I think you've definitely got victory in the bag, and looks like you've probably got winning the group in the bag as well, because Morocco are somehow drawing with Haiti, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So that's a head scratcher. But yeah, congrats. I can't see Scotland coming back from 3-0 down. So, yeah. Very good. Looks like you could be in for a tricky game in the next round at the moment, though, because we were just looking, and it looks like you're currently going to be taking on Japan, which could be a bit tricky. Hell of a game, though. I really would be excited to see that. Days, if you had to remove one storyline from a Triple H era, what would it be? Probably Randy and Cody. There's actually not been too many storylines that have like really annoyed me, actually made me want to turn the show off. But with Pat doing, like, you know, the nonsense he was doing, the anger that was being generated, I actually think that has seriously hurt WWE. I think we're in a position now where we are hurting still from that one feud in particular, because I think a lot of people during WrestleMania season know that is, like, you know, it's WrestleMania season, the most important time of the year. And I think you had a Cody Randy story that people were quite into, quite ready to, you know, accept as being like somewhat worth watching and tuning into. So I think there was a bit of excitement around it. And then, of course, they did the mystery angle. And then, of course, it turned out to be Pat. And the whole thing just completely fell apart. I mean, it didn't just derail night one of WrestleMania. It gave SmackDown a couple of its lowest ever rated shows, and it hurt at just the absolute worst time. I mean, if you was to do it now, it would, you know, hurt, but it wouldn't hurt as much. But that's WrestleMania, where a lot of casuals tune in, and for me, like, the damage of that story is still being felt. There was a lot of people that were like, I'm done. You know, I can't believe they've done this. And then you get to WrestleMania and it goes as badly as it did on night one. And you're like, I can't believe they did this last year. Like, they upset a load of people after the end of WrestleMania 41. They've just managed to do it again at the end of night 2. I mean, I think, you know, the John Cena heel turn, you could say, you could throw away. All I would say about it was the turn was good. When that happened at Elimination Chamber, that's one of the sort of big shocking moments. So I'm not saying it was worth doing just for that, but we can't forget how people were coming on here saying it's the best heel turn ever. It's better than Hulk Hogan, right? Which I didn't agree with at the time. And I think a lot of people would probably walk back on it now. But the turn was really good. And even though, you know, the run after didn't work, I don't think it caused the same damage that the Pat McAfee thing did. Because I think there was a lot of people willing to give it a go. I think there was a lot of people that enjoyed the turn and they were like, let's see how this goes. And then, of course, it just didn't work. I think they should have abandoned it much earlier. I don't think they should have done it for in the first place anyway. But when they did it, I think they should have abandoned it much earlier. They did it. They ran all the way to the night before SummerSlam. So, you know, I think you could have really, you know, kind of wrapped it up maybe just after WrestleMania or something. And there was a lot of nonsense. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's probably the story I'd put in second place that I would abandon. Because, you know, John Cena talking about how he was going to ruin wrestling. He was going to take the belt at the end of the year and he was going to ruin wrestling. And it's like, how does that ruin wrestling? It doesn't. You're basically vacating the belt. If you're not going to defend it, you're just vacating it. It doesn't really matter if you take the belt with you. Or just create a new belt. Might even be an opportunity for a new design. But if you're not willing to defend it, you're just vacating. And he was trying to make out like, oh, well, the next champ won't have beaten me. And it's like, that's fine. You know, we've had Seth as world heavyweight champion that had to vacate because of injury. Finn Balor had to vacate the Universal Championship when he won it because of injury. There's loads of examples of champions that have had to vacate that weren't beaten for the belt because of injury or whatever, you know? I mean, Sasha and Naomi were tag champs and they walked out. And no one beat them for the tag titles because they walked out. But, it didn't affect anything. They just basically vacated the belt. So, I mean, there was a load of stuff in there that was rubbish, nonsense. There was, fans that were buying tickets to say goodbye to John, like that kid in Belgium who loved John, just wanted to see him and say thanks and goodbye. And John's trying to get them to boo him, and no one wanted to boo him. So, I mean, that absolutely would have to be up there. It was just a whole lot of nonsense. But there was a couple of things in there that I think was fun. I didn't mind Punkonomics, you know. Maybe you could have done that anyway, though, even if John was a face. Perhaps you could have done Punkonomics anyway. But I didn't hate the fact that we did that. But I think the success of the turn itself would be a big reason why it doesn't take top spot. And I'd go with the Pat thing in top spot. If you had to remove... Okay, we read that one. Daze can't get over the Pat thing. He hates him, says Process. I do. It's true. But at least now I think everyone has kind of joined me in the same boat. For a while, it was quite lonely in the boat. It was pretty much me and just like a life vest. And that was it, really. But I've had to buy a bigger boat. It's a flipping cruise liner now. Yeah, there's a whole theatre and there's several restaurants and there's entertainment of the evening. The bar's normally really busy. So, yeah, I've gone from a one-man dinghy to like a big ocean liner now. There's a lot of other people in the same boat with me. So, but yeah, for me, I think it genuinely caused a lot of problems for WWE. Big Time Back said, do we see Ariana Grace potential? She seems like an interesting person. I like her look. The in-ring I've not seen much. Yeah, in-ring I've not seen much either, to be honest with you. Do I like her? I do like her. I like her as a comedy character. I don't know why we've abandoned that. Because I thought she was really good at the comedy stuff. And I think she's really good with... reaction, facial expressions, and all this sort of stuff. I really don't know why we've moved her away from that. Now she's a bit arrogant and she's with Birthright and, she's still doing like facial expressions, whatever, but I don't know. I can't figure out Birthright. I feel like they're trying to make them a bit goofy, but not in like a really entertaining way. The vibe ain't right, is it? I mean, like, we had that comedian guy doing a little something with Lexis and I can't remember who else it was. Charlie, was it? Lexis and Charlie. And so she's there reacting as it goes wrong. So, I mean, but it's just bad comedy. That's like, it's just bad. I mean, like, they had this, he's so goofy, that comedian. He's so goofy. There's just, I haven't heard him say anything funny. He just seems like quite sassy and has got a bit of attitudes. I mean, if he's a comedian, then I'd expect him to be telling some jokes and all this. But actually, I just don't get it, man. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get what he brings. And, you know, he made Birthright look really stupid. And she kind of reacted to it. So I can't say that they're trying to make Birthright look like these powerful heels, this dominant group. Like, there is goofiness there. And she is reacting to that, but I just don't find this anywhere near as entertaining as what she used to be doing when she was on her own. I actually went, as I keep saying, I went to a live show in 2024 in America, saw one of those NXT house shows. She was on that card, and she was special guest referee, and that actually was quite funny. She was like trying to count, but she didn't want to like break a nail and all this. And, you know, the heels were going off at her, and she was like, oh, I don't know, you know, I'm doing my best kind of a thing. And there was like lots of humor, and she'd miss certain spots and whatever. So she was really good in that sort of role, and the comedy was not bad. So I just don't really like Birthright. I don't like what we're doing with her. And I think if we're going to turn down her strength, which is her comedic stuff, if we're turning that down from like an 8 to a 2, and we're going to focus more on the wrestling, I don't think that's a good replacement. I don't think her wrestling is that strong, or at least not from what I've seen. It just looks okay. Do you know what I mean? Just like what you would expect someone at the PC to be able to do, but nothing special. Nothing that's going to make you want to see one of her matches. So, I don't know. I think there's something there, though. I think there's something there, but I think it's the comedy thing that's there, and I don't really get why we've moved away from that. Daze, thanks to Pat being put in the story that didn't need him, went from the outhouse to the penthouse. Well, do you know, I mean, it was pretty wild, actually, because I never used to speak too much about Pat because I just couldn't stand him. And there was quite a few times where there was people in the chat going, I don't know why you don't like him. I really like him. I really like his show. And it's like, I have no problem if you like him. I have no problem if you like his show. I just don't like him, and I don't like what he brought to WWE. I didn't like him on commentary. I didn't like him on pre-shows. I just found him to be irritating. And, you know, I'll tell you the other thing. His voice is not a voice that lends itself to commentary. He is only there because he's got the platform that he's got and the celebrity that he's got. And, I mean, it was no surprise to me when Corey Graves was kicked off commentary and told, I'm sorry, you're just not famous enough. You know, that was the line that he was told. He tweeted that out. That's what he was told. Sorry, you're just not famous enough in comparison to Pat. And that's what it comes down to. It's not about if you're the best. It's not about if you've got the skills. It's about fame. Are you famous enough? The more famous you are, the more WWE is interested. And it really doesn't matter if you've got the skills or not. Doesn't matter. You don't need to be skilled. You just need to be famous. And that is not right. That is not going to give us the best product possible. That is not in your interest. And it is not in my interest. And he symbolizes that to me. So, yeah, I flipping couldn't stand him. And it was kind of wild when all of that happens. And then all of a sudden, people are coming to me going, do you know what? I see what you've been saying now. And you kind of go, what's happening? Of all the things I thought that might happen in the world, this ain't one of them. This ain't one where people are like, you remember when you were ranting about him all those years? I get it now. And you're like, wow, Jesus. So, yeah, very, very strange. So, I don't know. I mean, look, he's out of the game now. I don't feel any ill will towards him now. I mean, I wish him all the best with his show and everything. I don't have any hatred for, his existence or anything. I just never cared for him being in WWE. So, yeah, good. Right. Ariana is better than Ava, so there's that, said Shining Wizards. It's Morocco 3, Haiti 2 now, said Edwards. Oh, they've managed to get a goal, have they? I tell you what, these sound like pretty fun games, don't they? Goals everywhere. In 2 games, we've had 8 goals. So, not bad. Not bad at all. Hello, William. Hope you're doing well. Chris, hello. Neymar's coming on, says Chris. Oh, wow, that'll be well received. I don't know that he's going to make much of a difference, but yeah, it came on in a couple of minutes ago. I bet there was a good ovation for him when he came on. I like Pat Show during football, but I didn't like him in WWE, says Huddle Talk. Chris said, yeah, you sound like me. I didn't like him on commentary, but I do like his show on ESPN. That's not just him doing that show. At least he's done with wrestling now. Yeah. I have no issue with, his show or anything. I know he's very popular and people kind of enjoy his banter and they enjoy his takes on football. So I wish him nothing but the best. Right, we've got 13 minutes. 13 minutes. I need to, and I don't want to do it just yet. I forgot that I need to turn my VPN on, which is a problem because I need it to watch Tubi in America because I'm not in America. And I'm just hoping it's not going to mess this stream up. So that could be a problem. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now because if there is a problem, I'd like to deal with the problem now. So let me turn that on. I think we've done it before and it was okay. It might just drop out momentarily or something, but yeah. Yeah, it did just momentarily drop out. Let's have a look, see if it works. Doobie. Boom. Let's have a look. I've always wanted to get a Brazilian, so I'm rooting for them, says Shining Wizards. Okay, there we go. Good. Done. That wasn't bad. I thought there was going to be a bit of drama there, to be honest with you. I thought it was probably going to dip out and I was going to struggle to get it back, but no, that's actually worked pretty well. Okay. The episode's not up yet. It should be up in about 7 minutes' time. Okay, Daze, the thing with Birthright is you've got 5 bottom-of-the-barrel talents that haven't been booked like shiz, which can hurt the credibility. It's true, but equally, I wouldn't say bottom of the barrel, right? I would just say 5 talents that, we haven't found the right vehicle for, right? It's not that they're bad. It's just that we haven't found the right way to present them. And, if you give someone the right gimmick and they can really get their teeth into it, then, you can start to make some serious progress. I mean, famously, someone said to Undertaker, Mark Calloway, you're never going to draw a dime in this business because they just couldn't see that he was that engaging. His in-ring, he was a big guy and, he could do some brawling stuff, but there was a few of those guys around at that time. There was nothing that was making him stand out. And I can't remember who it was that said that to him. I know he mentions it a lot, that he was told you'll never draw a dime. And of course he goes to Vince. Vince gives him the Undertaker character and to the moon we go, right? That's obviously an extreme example. But with these talents, I like Uriah Connors. I think if he had a bit of a Peaky Blinders type character, I could see that being something that could be quite interesting. I could see that working. If you had Uriah Connors, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate as a 3-person faction, I'd be really interested to see that. Put them in flat caps, give them a Peaky Blinders sort of vibe. You don't want to go too far though, where it just feels like it's a parody. You want it to be credible. But like, I kind of like the idea of them 3 like beating up some people backstage, taking their jackets off, got little waistcoats on. Do you know what I mean? They're in a pub drinking. I could see something there. I think in ring he's one of the strongest as well. Lexis King in ring doesn't blow me away, but he's quite arrogant. He's not a bad talker. I feel like there's a gimmick you could give him. Ariana Grace I thought was better when she was doing the comedy stuff. Stax was all right as the underboss. I don't know that, there was much room for growth there. But do you remember when Stax like kidnapped Riz and took Luca out to the desert? That was interesting stuff. That was like a good storyline where, he was turning on Tony. But I don't think they handled that storyline right. So, I mean, the way I look at it is that they're not bad wrestlers or performers. They're just lost. They haven't found the right gimmick. And I think you can understand someone in creative saying, look, let's bring all these people together because they're all 2nd or 3rd generation. So we'll bring them together. We'll give them the name Birthright. And this will give them chance to be a faction and all that. The problem you've got is, on paper, that's great. In reality, I don't know that the chemistry is there. I don't know that they complement each other that well. I don't know that we've figured out what the tone of the group is. Is it serious? Like, I would want Uriah Connors to be in a serious group. Or is it goofy, like you would expect Ariana Grace and Lexis King to be in a bit of a goofy group? And I don't think they've quite worked that out. And I don't know if they've worked out the presentation. I mean, what does this group look like? What's unifying them apart from the fact that they're all 2nd, 3rd generation? With Bloodline, their family, they're all Samoan. They got the tattoos. We've got the tribal chief. We've got the honor and the dignity and the tradition that kind of brings them all together, right? The whole Bloodline thing. But with this, they're just a random collection of people. So I think there's a lot that needs to be worked out with Birthright. And to be honest with you, it just simply might not work. This might not be the vehicle that gets them where they need to go. But like in Charlie Dempsey, you've got a really good technical in-ring performer. Problem is, that doesn't really translate well in WWE. We've seen Timothy Thatcher, who was very similar, and he never made it to the main roster because that sort of technical, joint manipulation, it's too small and intricate for WWE. WWE is big and loud, right? It's performance and showmanship. It's not little wrist holds. It's not like bending fingers back and all this kind of stuff. It's not little cheeky reversals that's like, oh, that's nice, That it's too small and bitty to work in WWE. So I would say if he was going to do that style, he needs to be bigger with it. He needs to do more dramatic reversals, and he needs to be much bigger with what he's doing. It's a bit like, when Pete Dunne was doing the joint manipulation. He'd hold the arm in the air, grab the fingers, look around and pause, and people would be, oh, here we go. And then he'd like really pull back on it, and the person would scream out in pain. And like it's done much bigger because if you do little bits like this, bending a finger back like you would do on the indies, like it's a bit too small. So there's all these barriers and obstacles and stuff that you've got to try and overcome, and it's hard to see how Birthright's going to succeed, to be honest with you, unless they drastically get onto the same page, figure out the presentation, figure out the tone of the group, give them some wins and get them some momentum and blah, 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 blah. Okay, where are we? We've got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Do we think WWE will lean heavily on a guy like Roman that can be box office, main event in 11 straight WrestleManias? Would suggest we haven't built true big stars. Do we think WWE will ever lean heavily on it? WWE will always lean heavily on someone. They always have. If you go back to the 60s, it's Bruno. If you go into the 70s, they were trying to find a Bruno replacement. They went with Pedro Morales for a bit, but it didn't work as well. They went back to Bruno for 4 years, and then Superstar Billy Graham came along and they went with him. But Superstar just wasn't... Do you know, it's annoying because Superstar is someone that inspired Dusty and inspired Hogan, and really the 70s should have been Superstar Billy Graham's decades. If Vince McMahon Jr. was in charge in the 70s, he would have got completely behind Superstar Billy Graham. But Vince's dad just wanted like a real American good boy kind of a vibe, and so he went Bob Backlund. So he went that way. As soon as Vince took over, he got rid of Backlund as champion and made Hogan champion. But unfortunately, you know, Superstar Billy Graham was just... It was just in the wrong place. I mean, he just needed to be... He needed Vince Jr. So Bruno dominated the 60s. They tried to find someone to dominate the 70s. It's a bit of Bruno. It's a bit of Pedro. It's a bit of Superstar Billy Graham. But there's only like 3 people in that whole 10-year period that are on top. I mean, you do have like a Stan Stasiak that's got the belt for like a week as they transition the belt over. But, it's really those 3 for the 70s. 80s is Hogan. Bit of Bob Backlund at the start going into Hogan. 90s is where it starts to get a bit messier again because we lose Hogan. And then we have to try and find a replacement, and we can't. And then that's when we eventually get, Stone Cold and Rock and whatever. And the Attitude Era is very messy. But, I mean, I think people would agree Stone Cold, Rock were the 2 biggest stars in the Attitude Era. So you got Hogan in the early stages, bit of Bret and Shawn, Diesel's in there as well, of course. Then you got a bit of Stone Cold, bit of Rock, Triple H, going into the John Cena era with a bit of Randy, bit of Brock Lesnar. And then you've got Roman with a bit of Cody, bit of Brock Lesnar, into like the Cody bit now. So, it's always been that way. It's always been that we've had like, a big name at the very top, the face of the company. And I can't see any reason as to why we would ever move away from that. I think, it feels pretty good like Oba is going to be that next person. I think Oba is kind of in the driving seat to be like a face of the company moving forwards, along with maybe Gunther, maybe Bron Breakker, maybe Trick Williams. Those kind of all come to mind. Maybe a Jacob, but I don't know. I don't know if Jacob will ever be a face. Jacob might be a bit of a Batista type where he gets runs, but I'm not sure you could ever say he was like a face of the company. Feels like Oba could definitely take that spot. I could see Oba, Trick Williams being like a WrestleMania main event. Bron Breakker, Oba being a main event. Maybe Trick, Bron Breakker as well. Don't know if right now I feel like that would be night 2, but I could see that being night 1, Trick Williams, Bron Breakker in a couple of years' time. Trick, Oba, definitely. Bron Breakker, Oba, definitely. So this kind of feels like where we're heading. Okay, I'm on Tubi, and at the moment... Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I still don't have the show, but I do have the show now. So, okay, here we go. I'm pressing play, and we are underway with Succession. Let's go. Succession 3. We got Wendy Choo in action. We've got Aaron Rourke in action. We got both championships being defended. Oh, wow. A magnitude 7 earthquake rocks Venezuela. Okay, Aaron Rourke arriving. Shining Wizard said, WWE needs to learn from their past mistakes. Trying to manufacture the biggest star never works. They have to go with what the fans are telling them, says Shining Wizards. There's the Mog Squads. Okay, so we got the Mog Squads just walking backstage. Okay, I don't hate that. Main man energy is starting a hot boy summer. Okay, we're just hearing from Nikita. Are these all TikToks or something? Because it's all been filmed vertical. Here's Wendy. Different entrance music or intro music. More dramatic, serious. I don't mind. I don't hate this. I don't hate the fact they've changed the entrance music for this show. 2 minutes 22 is where I am. Okay, we are at the Performance Center. I don't know. I still don't know where we are. Succession 1 was a moment. Succession 2... Oh, a movie. What happens for Succession 3? Well, I can tell you that we're starting with the women. So we've got Nikita coming out. Big Cat Keita. Coming out with Sloane Jacobs. Okay, so Nikita coming down. I kind of like her mask that she's got there. Nikita making her way down to the ring. I like the mask. Sloane Jacobs being with her as well, I think, is a decent addition. There's still a fair bit about a presentation I'm not a fan of, but definitely improvement. That's fun. We're seeing a lot of previous Wendy incarnations, like Tian Shah. Listen, just looking at that image of Tian Shah, I think she looks good. Could you imagine if you upset Wendy, Tian Shah came out as like a darkness? Wendy making her way down to the ring. Hello, Trini. Hope you're doing well. Wendy is coming down. You lot have been voting as to who you think is going to take the victory here. And we've had nearly 100 votes. And at the moment, you lot are saying nearly 60% of you are saying Wendy Choo is expected to get the victory. So, Wendy in the ring. Bella sounded, and we're going to be underway. This really could go either way. I genuinely don't know what they're going to do here. Genuinely don't know which way this goes. I like that mask for Nikita. I really do. It looks good. With like the little spikes on and everything. It's good. That's a good addition. Wendy Choo holds up the championship. And we are about to get underway with match number 1 for the Evolve Women's Championship. Daze, I like this version of Wendy. Not the alarm clock version, said Word Live Cena fan. Mr. Stormy said, this is my first time watching Evolve. Is it easy to follow? Very easy. Wow, look at that. We got Kendall Gray, Callie Armstrong, Xena Sterling, all watching in the VIP section. So this is two previous NXT talents that have kind of come down to Evolve to kind of get some momentum, maybe reinvent themselves. Certainly reinvention in regards to Wendy. Wendy managing to get that championship. The championship that was vacated by Kendall Gray. She's been in a little feud, not much, just a little feud with Nikita. And so this brings us to this match now where the championship is on the line. And right now we've got Wendy keeping Nikita down. The good thing as well is that you know this is going to be a decent match considering the amount of experience both of these women have. As we said, both of these girls have been used on NXT quite a bit. Breaking apart. Kick coming in there. Oh, leg sweep by Nikita looked good. She went upstairs, missed, but then went downstairs very, very quickly. Wendy looking to grab the arm. Nikita getting back up to her feet. Wendy coming over, looking for dirt nap. It's a very early dirt nap there by Wendy. That dirt nap has put quite a few women away, but obviously very early in this one. As she goes for a Thez press there, Wendy. Throws down some shots on Nikita. Nikita manages to reverse. Wendy reverses. They're quite close to the ropes, but Wendy gets off Nikita. Nikita getting back up to her feet. Wendy, of course, the baby face in this one. Nikita, the heel. Kick to the midsection there by Nikita. Nikita going over against the ropes. Wendy looking for a big shot. Nikita over the other side. Over the top. Wendy, bang, drop kick. That was nice. Not much room to operate, but Wendy getting that drop kick off. As Nikita goes in the corner. Wendy comes in. Nikita, back elbow there by Wendy. Wendy on that bottom rope. Looking for a head scissor takeover. And Nikita's going to go to the outside to regroup. Wendy coming over, not trying to give her any time to rest as Nikita grabs her, pulls her out the ring. Shot coming in there by Nikita. Nice pace to this. And, she tried for the yam slam, but bang! Drop kick in the back. Nikita to the outsides. Sloane Jacobs trying to offer some words of encouragement, but nice pace. And they're really using the space well. We've been in the ring. We've moved to the outside. That's going to take us quite comfortably to the commercial. Some of you may be going to commercial at that point. Commercials kind of hit a bit random on Tubi. Sloane comes over. She's having a word with Wendy. And Wendy, oh, lovely kick by Nikita. Managed to avoid the first kick. Got caught with the second. Oh, there we go. Another commercial. We have got... okay, I'm at ad break. Not bad. I mean, I think Wendy getting the early advantage. Those kicks from Nikita have always been her strongest weapon. And we've seen a few times, actually, where that first one doesn't hit, but the second one does. You know, she tried an early kick that Wendy managed to duck underneath, but then there was a leg sweep that followed and Wendy went down. And just we saw there a kick coming in that Wendy avoided, but then she got caught with another kick. So the kicks of Nikita always kind of been a bit of an equalizer, a real weapon for her. So, yeah, this match going to be carrying on. If anyone wants a time check, I am at 9:40. That's where I am right now. 9:42, 9:45. I'm around 9:50. As we're just coming back from commercial break, we're seeing a shot of the Evolve Championship, Women's Championship. And we got Nikita in the ring with Wendy Choo. Not a bad start to this match, as Wendy is 1, 2, kick out. Block shot, forearm, coming in. Another block shot, forearm, coming in, and again. Driving Nikita back. Wendy against the rope, shot to the midsection. Looking for a fisherman suplex, which Nikita gets. Wendy goes down. She's over by the ropes. Nikita standing on Wendy. Bang. It's a shame. I wanted to watch this, says Alfreds. Oh, what? Yeah, are you in the UK? It doesn't drop until tomorrow, unless you use a VPN, like I'm using. If you use a VPN and go over to America, you can just watch it for free on Tubi. Okay, Wendy, middle of the ring, big boot there by Nikita. Nikita is climbing up. She's on that middle rope. Kick coming in there by Wendy. Bang! Look at that. Driving Nikita down. Wendy driving Nikita down. Sloane on the outsides. Nikita on her hands and knees, trying to go over to the corner. Do we think Wendy will make her way back to NXT? I think it's hard to say, to be honest with you, because it's obviously not good news that she went to Evolve, because that says to me they had no plans for her. They weren't totally convinced by her character. It's a very competitive division, the women's division. So it's not good enough to just sort of change your gimmick. You need to make a connection with the audience. I think there are signs that she is doing that. Bang, that's lovely work there by Wendy. I love that. I love that short arm clothesline. So, I mean, look, her being champion is giving her the best opportunity possible. She's getting regular TV time. She's getting loads of opportunity. And I'd say she's doing a decent job with it. That's a nice net breaker. Wendy is 1, 2, in control. Kick out there by Nikita. Kick out by Nikita. Nikita is down. She's trying to get back up to her feet. Wendy grabbing Nikita. We got a full Nelson. Nikita breaks out of it. Reverses. Wendy goes through the legs, roll up 2, kick out there by Nikita. Wendy, oh, that was nice. Kick coming in there by Nikita. Dirt nap coming in, is it? She's trying to get the dirt nap, but she's struggling to get it in at the moment. She's trying to jump on the back of Nikita here. Nikita, though, trying to get Wendy off, and she drives Wendy down. Wendy goes down. Wendy. Oh. 1, 2. Kick out there by Wendy. Do you know, I mean, fair play to these two. They're really putting in a battle. These two are really going at each other. There's been some nice moves in this match. I think, you know, if this was on NXT, you would go, yeah, it was a decent contest, this, actually. Yeah, she's going for that short arm clothesline again. Couldn't get it this time, Wendy. Full Nelson. Oh, into a slam. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Do you know, it's matches like this that's going to help Nikita and Wendy. This is what you need to do. You need to be putting on really great matches that really grab attention. and make people sit up and go, damn, she's good, you know. They're good, you know. I think these two are putting on a really fun match here as Wendy goes into the ring steps. So Wendy and Nikita down on the outside. These two, this is our opening match. These two have been going at it now for a good 10 minutes. Wendy back in the ring. Nikita climbing up the ring steps. Nikita going up top. Wendy down. Shot coming in there by Wendy. Fans, some fans are on their feet, you know, in the crowds. We've got chants for Nikita, actually. Oh, right now, Wendy. Big power. Oh, a driver. Off the top. 1, 2. Oh, a driver by Nikita. Off the top. I thought she was going to go for a power slam. She ended up, like, driving Wendy down. Wendy's done really well to kick out of that, you know. Wendy's done really well to kick out of that. That was 2, says Kendall. Anyone that was sat down are up now. Oh, what a reversal! Oh, my God! That reversal by Wendy into a hurricanrana. Big shot there by Nikita. Shut up. Shut up. These two are cooking. Wendy going over. Look, that reversal by Wendy is one of the best moves I've seen this year. Dirt naps in! Dirt naps in! Lovely. If this finishes it, what a... Oh, Sloane's grabbed the belt. Sloane's grabbed the belt. She's put it on the edge of the ring. Sloane now trying to distract the referee. Dirt naps in. Nikita's tapping. The belt is on the edge of the ring. Nikita's going to go over to grab it. Oh, I do worry. Laney looks here to even the odds, but that belt is still in the ring. She's got the belt. Here we go. Duck underneath. No. Roller. 1, 2. No joy, but at least the referee is in the belt. Oh, what's that? I don't even know what that is. Is that a crystal? She's got a crystal. Bang. Well, that's weird. Kick coming in. Wendy down. It's probably going to give Nikita the win. And it has, you know. We've got a new Evolve Women's Champion. Thanks to a crystal. To be honest, I don't even hate the crystal finish. I don't even hate the crystal being used. Because I thought they did well with the swerve of, oh, you think it's going to be the belt, but it isn't the belt. I didn't even know there was a crystal there. So, you know, the fact that there was that was amazing. That driver was amazing. Is this the reversal? Power bomb. Dirt nap. No. There's a reversal that's in there that is amazing. I think it was Nikita that was going for a power bomb. So she was going to power bomb Wendy down, but Wendy ends up going down and then taking Nikita over in a hurricanrana. It looks so damn good. It was so crisp. Nikita winning with a crystal is quite on brand. I flipping really enjoyed that. Do you know, it was building. It was a good foundation. I think it, no doubt in my mind, the best Nikita match I've ever seen, and maybe the best Wendy match I've ever seen. Well, I don't know. I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Let's see what you lot thought about it. Very good. Okay, I'm at 18. I'm at 19. I'm at 19 minutes. a new Evolve Women's Champion, Wendy Choo, losing that championship to Nikita Lyons. This is the Nikita era. I don't know. What does that mean for Wendy? Is she NXT bound now? There could be an opening, couldn't there? There are rumors of call-ups coming to the main roster for some women. If they go, then that should open some spots for some people from Evolve. Does Wendy take one of those? If she can provide matches like that on a, you know, consistent basis, I hope so. There's no telling how far the journey can go. Next week, Kev on stage is going to be special guest general manager. Guest GM. There's the VIP lounge. Okay, Kev on stage with Chewy. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, it's go! Here we go. It's go. Yes. Take a peek at the peaks. It's goal. Cutler James next week. Oh, there we go. Its goal is going to be in action next week against Cutler James, the guest general manager next week. Just made that match. I mean, technically, he's not GM till next week, so I don't think he's got the ability to make the match, but whatever. Right, coming up next, we got some new arrivals. Shining Wizard said, considering how vast the network was, it's really surprising that Netflix hasn't made more of that content with WWE. Likewise, how the Vault hasn't monetized. Opala, hello. Hope you're doing well. How you doing? I'm good. I never told you, I got a bite by a lion in Thailand. Not a fully grown one. It was just a playful, middle-aged one. Oh. Still sounds terrifying. I can't imagine even a middle-aged lion is fun to be bitten by. Okay, I've just gone to commercial break, so these are annoying. I don't think we get them at the same time. So, just got to deal with this. When we come back, we should be getting some new superstars arriving. Do we think Chewy will ever get a different role? Maybe GM or manager on the main roster? I don't know, to be honest. I don't think so. I don't really get his relationship with WWE. Like, I don't know where he's come from. I don't know his background. I think his size is a problem because he's quite big, and actually a lot of wrestlers, when they're standing next to him, can look a little bit small, and that is just not what you want from a manager. It's not what you want from an interviewer. You know, there's a reason why Kathy Kelly takes her shoes off sometimes when she's interviewing people. Or I don't know if you've seen, there's a famous video of Kathy interviewing some of the girls. She's got her legs spread so that she's lower than them, because you don't really want the perception that your wrestlers are small or anything like that. So I think, believe it or not, you want wrestlers ideally to be bigger, because Obviously, we know that it's a lot easier for them if they're like Brock, if they're like Roman, if they're like Ober, right? But it's actually the reverse is true when it comes to managers and when it comes to interviewers. So, I don't know. Was he a wrestler that maybe got an injury or something? I mean, he looks like a wrestler to me. Size-wise, he's got quite a presence. So, I don't know. I don't know if he was a wrestler that didn't work, but he's a very comfortable talker. So they're like, why don't you try interview him? He could maybe go on to commentary, you know? I could see him maybe doing commentary. That could be a role for him. General manager, I don't hate. Maybe that's a role. Maybe if Timothy Thatcher, like, calls it quits, they could give Chewy a run. So I think there's definitely a future for him, but just trying to find the right role for him might be take a little bit of work. Kale Dixon is here. So Kale Dixon looks like he has come to Evolve. He's taken on Kavari. So we've just got a bit of a... This wasn't announced. So Cal Dixon, who was in Chase U, was he not, with Uriah Connors? So we've seen him on NXT. He now has come down to Evolve. Kai Kavari against Kale Dixon. This is a usual kind of weekly Evolve type match where you've got two emerging talents that are trying to show what they can do in a short space of time. But the great thing is with Evolve is that you do get those great matches as well, like we just saw. Although that was special, to be honest, that women's match. Against the ropes goes Kai Kavari. Big Time said, Daze, SmackDown did 1.19 against World Cup that did 8.7. If we're wondering, the removal of the third hour should lift the average by about 70 to 100,000. So no more struggling to stay above 1 million. That's good. That's good. That is true, actually. Taking away the third hour will improve the rating. It won't improve total viewers, of course. That'll drop, but that's not a number that we tend to focus on. We just focus on the average. And third hour sees a decline as people go to bed. So, yeah, it will help. Kale Dixon is swiveling the hips right now. I'm going to end this poll. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. Opola said, Daze, see you. I'm going to be around Tuesday night for Raw. Yep, see you then, buds. We are around this weekend as well. Don't forget, there is Night of Champions on Saturday and Great American Bash on Sunday as well. So, big weekend for wrestling. Kel Dixon with a big shot coming in. Crowd a little bit quiet. That wasn't quiet, though. Big chop coming in there by Kale Dixon. Oh, that wasn't flipping quiet. He's trying to get a bit of a sleeper hold in. Kavari goes down. So, a little fun fact in the corner. Former collegiate baseball athletes. Right now, back up. Elbow coming in by Kavari. And again to the midsection. Knee coming back there by Kale Dixon. Against the ropes, no joy over the other side, middle rope. I thought he had botched that a little bit, actually. It seemed like he got a little bit caught on the ropes. He's done well there. Opola said, I forgot about Night of Champions. Yeah, well, I can understand that. It's not a massive show like SummerSlam or anything, but yeah, should be good. Give us something to look forward to this weekend. Okay, Wendy versus Nikita. You lot said was great 74. I think that's very fair. I think that's very fair. I agree. Really fun. Hopefully the men's match is going to be able to match the success of that. Okay. Who is that? Okay, there's some blonde woman that's just come walking out that's distracted. KO Dixon's got the victory. She looks a bit like Lana in the face. Does he know her? Are they together? Commentary don't know who she is. Has she featured on LFG? Does anyone know? Never seen her before. So, Kavari distracted. Can't say I blame him. Do you know, from a distance, I was getting Stevie Turner vibes. Then when you see a close-up of her face, she looks a bit like Lana. I don't think she's a fan. Okay, well, Kel Dixon got the win. It was a bit of a nothing match, to be honest with you. Here we go. I've been waiting for her. The unknown. Ah! It's too late to prepare. Mate, this vignette is sick. Sign me up. Yeah. Mate, people are going to love this. They're going to love this. Oh my God. It's awesome. The unknown is coming. Okay, Max Abrams is making his way out. Yeah, that's gonna get attention. She's got attention anyway. We've looked at her in Unseen. She was the girl that did that 6 spin. Like, you know, she was in an arm lock. She managed to like rotate out of it. Just that move alone sort of went viral. Her look with the paint when she appeared on an NXT live event, people were like, have you seen this girl? That went viral. Now we've actually got a proper vignette of her arrival, so... Don't know. I only know her as the unknown. I don't know what her name is. I did see someone say who she was, though, because obviously they found, you know, when she signed who she was. She's not... I think she used to be like a gymnast. Okay, we got Kev on stage. He's just having a few words with the Mog Squads. Wayne said, I was asking about her last week. I wondered what happened to her. All you've got is hair and muscles. So next week, we've got Mog Squad against Marcus Mathers, Cappuccino Jones, and Sam Holloway. And that's now going to be an elimination match. So Mog Squad, who are like goofy band of brothers, a goofy faction, they have got a match next week. 6-person tag, and no longer is it first pinfall wins. It's now an elimination match. Right. I'm at 32:05. So we got 20 minutes left. That's it. 20 minutes left of this week's Evolve. Really enjoyed the opening match. Second match, it was short. There wasn't much to it. It was short. It was fine. Really, it was just a way of telling us that KO Dixon is now in Evolve. And then, of course, we get vignette for The Unknown. Love that. Now we are moving to our main event. So this is going to get some time. Max Abrams taking on Aaron Rourke. I really, really hope this can achieve what the women achieved. If so, this will have been a really fun watch. But I don't know, I've got my doubts. I haven't really seen that from these two, that kind of match. But, well, Aaron Rourke actually, when he won the belt, was in a really good contest. But let's see. Let's see what they can cook up. Right, they trademarked a name with her for unknown. I'll have to try and find it, says Shining Wizards. William, hello. Shout out to you. It was scary, but nothing compared to the Lady Boys. Joking, says Opala. Considering... Oh, yeah, we read that one. Okay, man, I've still got more commercials. They're bombarding me with commercials right now. Travago. Okay, we are back to the action, though. So, 32-40 is where I am. It's going to be a hot boy summer. Here comes Aaron Rourke. The Evolve champion, Aaron Rourke, making his way down to the ring. Daze, it's crazy that Evolve is almost over. It feels like it only just started. It's because we're so used to watching like 2-3 hour shows. This thing with adverts clocks in at about an hour. Doesn't even do that, to be honest. I'm not sure. I mean, like, it's 52 minutes long, the actual show. I don't know that there's 8 minutes of commercials. So, yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why, but... Okay, his gear looks good here, Aaron Rourke. Aaron Rourke's made his way into the ring then. We'll just be getting the intros for this very soon. Main event coming up. Championship on the line. Let's do a poll and see what you lot think. Who is leaving as champ? Who leaves as Evolve champion? Who's going to be leaving with the championship? Is it going to be Aaron Rourke? Or is it going to be Max Abrams? Okay, Mike Rome doing the intros. Challenger getting... intro. Okay, Aaron Rourke getting his intro. Belt is about to be handed over. Fans are in no doubt as to who they're cheering for. They're obviously behind the babyface. They're obviously behind Aaron Rourke. VIP Lounge has got Harlem Lewis. There is a lot of man spreading. For the women, we had 3 women, but there's only Harlem Lewis watching on here, which is a bit strange. I'm surprised they didn't get Jackson Drake to kind of be here. They had both the former women's champions in Callie and Kendall. But no Jackson Drake. Okay, shot there. Big chop coming in by Aaron Rourke. Aaron Rourke with Max Abrams and throws him into that top turnbuckle. Abrams goes down. Goes to the outside, regroups. Got the Mog Squad just giving him some advice, telling him to breathe. Aaron Rourke to the outside, takes down the Mog Squad, but didn't quite get them down. Over into the ring steps goes Aaron Rourke. Edge of the ring there, Aaron Rourke. Max Abrams grabbing him, chucking him in the ring. Abrams gets in and duck underneath. Against the ropes goes Rourke. Leapfrog, gets caught. Rourke against the ropes. Drop kick. Nice. He's down. Kip up. Good kip up, actually. I've seen him stumble with those couple of times. Inspired to become a superstar after seeing Undertaker throw Rikishi off Hell in a Cell. Wow. Of all the things that have inspired Aaron Rourke, I wouldn't have thought that would be one. Chop coming in by Aaron. Final score was Morocco 4, Haiti 2, Brazil 3, Scotland 0. Well, it's going to be a waiting game now for Scotland, I think, to see if they're going to make it or not. I don't know where they are in the third place pecking order, but that is not the result they needed. Goal difference could be a real factor. In the corner. Moves out the way. Rourke goes to the outside. Drives his shoulder into the midsection. Okay, shot coming in there by Aaron Rourke. He goes down on the edge of the ring. Max Abrams in the ring going against the ropes. Oh, lovely. 1, 2. 2 count there by Abrams. I tell you, the Mog Squad are being a bit of a distraction here, and it is taken away from the match a little bit. Choo just talking in the VIP area with Harlem Lewis. Yeah. Harlem Lewis said as soon as he's done with Braxton Cole, he's setting his sights on the champ, Aaron Rourke. Are we going back to commercial? We've got a Club WWE advert right now. Okay, we're at 38. 38. Daze Meltzer exposes his bias when he's making claims that Dynamite is beating Raw based off cable numbers plus HBO Max that we don't have any access to. He's looking at a Raw global number and calculating like 600, 800,000. Yeah, I don't worry about that. I'm not really interested in kind of Dave Meltzer being like biased to AEW or anything. The way I use Meltzer or get any usage out of Meltzer is obviously like any rumors or things that he kind of is reporting, but also just like how he scores WWE matches against other WWE matches. I never ever compare WWE to AEW because I think there is a bias there. And I don't think that it's a bad negative thing. I just think that he genuinely prefers AEW, which is fine. I can cope with that. I think he genuinely prefers. I think he prefers AEW. I think he would like to see it succeed. I think that he enjoys the product, and I think that does kind of show out in his ratings. So I just don't worry about comparing WWE to AEW using his ratings. And maybe it's showing itself there. I don't know. He is very good when it comes to numbers. Okay, right now, Aaron Rourke back in the corner. Max Abrams is down. Abrams is up, charges over. Big Uranagi by Aaron Rourke. Aaron Rourke charging in, drop kick. Max Abrams goes flying into the corner. Aaron Rourke is looking for a... Okay. I wasn't too sure about him being down, sort of doing that. It was a bit Mr. Iguana there by Aaron Rourke. He was kind of down doing this weird rocking thing, but I think he was doing it to get the momentum so he could do the kip up. Just looked a little weird. But not only did he kip up, but he kipped over into like a spring. Right now he's going up. Both of these are up top. And bang, that was nice. So big slam from the second rope there by Aaron Rourke. So another match has been announced for next week. That's going to be Braxton Cole taking on Harlem Lewis. Okay, we're at 41:38. So we've still got a good 10 minutes left to go in this match. Kel Dixon is going to address the Evolve universe next week. Aaron Rourke going over to the corner, stomping out there on Max Abrams, stomping away. Referee coming over, having a words. Aaron Rourke screams out. He's grabbing Abrams. He's looking for a split leg moonsault. No. Abrams had moved. He goes into the corner. Down he goes. Okay, Abrams celebrating that. Celebrating the fact that there's an opening that's presented itself here as Aaron's in the corner. Abrams is down. Mug Squad on the outside watching on. Abrams charging in. Kick coming in there by Rourke. Abrams goes down. Rourke is climbing up. He's going onto that middle rope. He's going up top to the top. Abrams knocks on the ropes. Oh, that was great. That's what this match needed. Some innovation, some fun spot. That was great. So he knocks against the ropes. Aaron Rourke kind of slips, goes down. As he comes off the ropes, he goes into like a net breaker. It was nice. That's the best thing I've seen in this match so far there by Max Abrams. Going against the ropes. Hitting that move. Big right hand looked good. That right hand looked good there by Max Abrams. Trash talking Aaron Rourke at the moment. They cut back over to Harlem Lewis, who's watching on. Another shot coming in there by Max Abrams. Kick coming in. Shot coming back there by Aaron Rourke. These two exchanging a few blows. They're both on their feet right now. A couple of people in the crowd are on their feet as well. Shot coming in. Shot coming back. These two exchanging blows. Max Abrams, he looks good when he throws his shots. That's not bad by Aaron Rourke either, actually. Rourke over by the ropes again. Turns around. Forearm. Another forearm. Kick to the midsection. He's going to go against the ropes. Big boot there by Abrams. Big boot. Another big boot. Screaming out here is Aaron Rourke. No joy. Oh, lovely kick there by Aaron Rourke. Forearm smash there by Abrams. Big knee. Oh, super kick coming back by Aaron Rourke. Abrams falls onto Aaron Rourke. And kick out, shoulder up. That was not a bad little sequence. I didn't hate that. I'm not finding this match is grabbing me personally quite like the women's one did. But that was an okay little sequence. You know when it's bad when Brian Alvarez on Observer is just dumbfounded when Meltzer is making those claims about Raw. Sort of like, okay, Dave, whatever rocks your boat. Are they chanting you tapped out? Okay, right now we've got in the corner Max Abrams driving Aaron Rourke into the corner. Oh, Aaron Rourke with a big kick. Abrams ducked out the way. He kicks the ref. Another boot, but yeah, 1, 2, 3. We don't have a referee right now. Isn't it crazy how 9 times out of 10 when a referee gets knocked down, or maybe 10 out of 10, it just happens to always be when someone's going for a pin. And a pin that looks like it would have got a 3. Okay, the Mug Squad are seeing this as an opportunity. Harlem Lewis has got in. It's not evened up the numbers, though. It's 4-on-2. Braxton Cole grabs Harlem Lewis. So Braxton Cole, Harlem Lewis, we got some shenanigans here. Kick coming in there by Rourke. Rourke's taking on the Mug Squad on his own. Surely he shouldn't be able to do that. There's the belt. Bang! Aaron Rourke goes down. Okay, he's going over. He's trying to make the cover. All eyes on the ref who is moving. Here we go. Ref has just come back. 1. Slow. 2. Shoulder up. I don't think that's that shocking, to be honest. Referee couldn't have counted any slower if he tried. How can you not believe he survived it? Took the referee 2 years to count. Aaron Rourke is being held back. Now we've got the people that are going to be fighting next to the shenanigans, and this thing is crazy. Honestly, if this isn't going to result in like a new champ or anything, I think I would have done this match first. Anyway, all of that means that we are just down to Aaron Rourke and Max Abrams one-on-one. Lots of shenanigans. Max Abrams has got Aaron Rourke in the corner. Big shot coming in there by Max Abrams. He's going up. He's looking for a superplex. He's not finding it. Oh, down he goes. Aaron Rourke. Aaron Rourke's trying to get himself fired up here. Max Abrams is down. Crossbody? Missile drop kick? No? Oh. The Molly go round. 2, 3. Aaron wins. Okay, Aaron does retain. Let's get the poll up, shall we? What did you lot think about the match? Aaron Rourke retains. We've still got a bit of time here. There's still 2.5 minutes. Yeah, this was the best bit. Oh, love it. That's nice. Referee gets caught. There was just so many shenanigans, weren't there? Watson Mog said, but it's a good question, Bishop. I actually don't know. Mog is an internet slang that means to outclass, outshine, or dominate someone. So you got mogged. So all the kids are saying it, apparently. Aaron Rourke celebrating in the entranceway. In the ring, we got Marshall Mathers. Is Sam Holloway injured? Sam Holloway looks pretty banged up. And now we've got a couple of the security guards are in. They lay out the Mog squads. They go to shake hands with Cappuccino and Mathers. Can they trust them? Probably not. Yeah, no. Bang, they get taken out as well. I wonder if these two that have been security guards, I wonder if they're ready to get going with them now. That's what happens now. Well, there we go. That was this week's Evolve. And I thought that the women's match was really good. I thought the men's match had a few moments, but I don't think it was as good. And I thought the shenanigans just sort of took me out of it a little bit. But I love that women's match. The arrival of the unknown, I think, is very, very interesting as well, of course. Love that vignette. Lots of matches made for next week. I think if you've never watched Evolve before, you probably got something from this. I'd hope you got something from it. Certainly from that women's match at the start. But maybe you enjoyed the men's match as well. I don't know. Get your thoughts in. What did you think about our main event tonight? Aaron Rourke taking on Max Abrams. Get your scores in. Women's match, you lot said, was great. 74. So get your thoughts in. What do you think about the men's match? How are we watching Evolve? I can't find it, said Ashley. You have to get a VPN. And then go over to Tubi. It's a website called Tubi. And if you are in America, you can just watch it for free. So I get a VPN, go over to America, and then I'm able to just watch it over there. Daze is not a lover of women. He is a lover of men. He loves everyone. Too much to tie himself down to a sexual identity, says William. I didn't expect to walk into a comment like that. I only have eyes for William Hensey. Evolve is only on Tubi. You need a VPN to watch it if you're not in the US. Yeah, it will go on to YouTube tomorrow in the UK. Tends to drop on a Thursday. But if you wanted to watch it live, then yes, only on Tubi. Benito, I'll always be surprised that Daze is single. It's a shame for the ladies. Oh, that's where it started. That's where it started. TJ, I did one better. I named my faction after him. I became undisputed champion, holding all the community golds. I think I'm too much of a rebel for a badge. TJF, hello. Hope you're doing well. AB said, what did you lot think of that match? That was a straight Cake City carnage and a 5-star banger. Oh, well, I'm guessing you mean the women's match, not the men's match. I'm guessing you mean a women's match. Benito said, will WWE always be forever? Yes. And it has to be because they tell us at the start, don't they? It was then, back then. It's now. And it is then also going to be forever. And apparently we're going to experience it together. So WWE wouldn't say that if they didn't mean it. So I think that's the proof, isn't it? That it is going to be forever. Then, now, forever together. That means we're going to be together forever as well. If we continue watching WWE, which I will. And I'd imagine you will as well. AB said, I'm watching the June 25th episodes. I guess we're running in a Daze multiverse. Yeah, I'm watching that as well. Evolve Succession 3, the June 20... I think it's the June 20... Well, I think technically it's June 24th. But it's June 25th here. Okay, get your scores in because we've only had 22 votes. I'd like to get a few more. We managed to get over 30 votes for the women's match. So I'd like to get a few more before we part ways. But yeah, I hope people got something from this. Word Live Cena fan said, what's your opinion on Chad's music compared to Liv's? Liv's is worse. Liv's is worse because Liv's singing hers and she can't sing. And it's auto-tuned within an inch of its life. At least whoever's singing Chad's can sing. So I think Chad's is better. But Chad's feels like it's AI. It feels like it's pretty generic. The kind of thing that you see people online going, what do you think about my track that I've just created? And it's clear that they've just gone and typed a load of words into ChatGPT and had a track made, you know? It does have that vibe to it. So I don't mind the fact it goes like Gable. It's got like a repetitive Gable thing. I could see people maybe joining in with that. Chad seems to like it. When he comes out, he's like quite pumped up by it. I don't think it's a disaster. I don't agree when I see people saying this is atrocious, this is horrific. I think they're saying that because of the AI element, but oh no, it ain't Trouble. Trouble is just badly sung. And it's just a bad song as well. I don't even like the hook that much, that Trouble, Trouble. Yeah, I just find that track annoying. So I'd say Chad's is better, definitely, but feels, and I can't prove that it is, but it just feels like it's AI generated, which, you know, obviously gets a backlash from people. People are like, not fans of things that are AI generated. Days, hope you're good. My comment you read out was with everyone having a badge and wonder if I was in the right stream and not a sheriff meeting. You having a badge? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, what? I don't know what you mean. Oh, the mods. Yeah, do you know, I didn't even notice. Oh, they've put a badge thing on for the mods, have they? Didn't even notice, honestly. Oh, yeah. Looks like we have got a lot of sheriffs around. Benito said, I miss the Fun Wheel, Trucker Ted's, GIF Super Chats. Is this TKO days? Well, we stopped because there was a bit of a change to the rules on YouTube. So, I mean, that's been away for like 6 years now. The Trucker Ted stopped because I was doing a lot of streams. I can't remember what we were doing, but we were doing a lot. I was losing my voice. And I remember like I needed like someone to read out comments, because if I was doing it and then answering the questions, I was struggling. My voice was struggling. So that's why we were doing that. My voice is fine now. I can't remember why I was losing my voice. I don't know if I was doing more streams or something. I'm not sure. It wasn't during the pandemic. It was well after that. So I'm not sure. But that's why that happened. And I can't remember the other one. What's the other one? Wheel of Fun, Trucker Ted's, and the other one was the GIFs whenever there was like a super chat thing. Yeah, to be honest, there's just a website that's called Streamlabs that you can go to set that up on, and it just like it broke in that I needed to go back in and fix it. I just never did. So that's all that was. It was the same like when people donated, it had like the bar at the top. That's Streamlabs as well. There's a few things you can do on Streamlabs, but it just means having to go in, log in, sort it out again, refresh it, get it all set up properly, copy the thing over and all that stuff. So yeah, that was why that went away. So not really any by design. They're just things that we've done on streams historically, that's all. Okay, I think we've got as many votes as we can get, and we have managed to hit 30 now, which is good. Let's have a look, shall we? You lot said it was good 93. I can't disagree, to be honest with you. I think it was well below the women's match. I feel sorry for them because they didn't really let them go out and cook There was just way too many shenanigans. So, yeah, it's come out as good 93. Okay, with that being said, we are done. So, really appreciate everyone joining us. It was nice to see, actually, a few people that were here that were like, I don't normally watch Evolve, so I really hope you got something from it. I'm going to go away and work on a few things. We know we've got a big weekend of wrestling coming up, so make sure you're ready for that. We're here on Friday. We're here on Saturday. We're here on Sunday. We're here on Monday. We're here on Tuesday. We're back again next week with Evolve as well. We're back tomorrow with a member stream. We've got a watch along, and we're also doing the Wrestling Escape Pod. I think Fanny might be on this week. I'm not sure. Tommy said a few weeks ago she was interested in coming back, so she could be on tomorrow. The Wrestling Escape Pods. So, yeah, lots going on. Lots happening. So, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.